April 30th, 2015 from the iWireless Center in Moline, Illinois. This is WWE Smackdown. The main event of the evening, we had Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose. It's actually Seth Rollins' backyard. Is there right next to Davenport, and that's where Seth Rollins is from, Davenport, Iowa. So basically in his backyard, just right across the way. And earlier in the evening, Seth Rollins had asked Dean Ambrose to step down from the match. He said, "Hey, I got a title fight coming up at Payback, so why don't you just step down?" He's like, Kane made this match out of anger. He was upset with me because I was treating him bad. And Triple H, when he comes back, he's going to be upset with anybody involved in this. He's going to take it out on him. And he's like, "So it sound good?" And he's like, "Yeah, sounds good." And he's like, "All right." And then he's like, "See you out there." And he's like, "What? I thought you said it sounded good." And he's like, "Yeah, all I heard was something about humiliating you, and I didn't listen after that." And so, they had their match, Lunatic Fringe versus the World Heavyweight Champion. And they were going at it pretty good. It was a good match back and forth. These are two of the best young superstars in the WWE. They're just hitting their prime. I mean, they've been around for a while, no doubt. But right now, they're just really hitting their stride. Seth with the belt, and Dean, of course. Now that, the Shield's broken apart, they get their chance to shine in individual, competition. Of course, they've been doing that for a year plus now. But these guys, the Shield, I mean, when they were together, they were running wrestling. Like, they were just on top. And then now, even as they've broken up, they're on top still, as we see right here in this match. But, as the match, progressed, eventually Seth Rollins would hit Dean with the super kick, and then he went for the pin. Dean kicked out, and then Kane came up on the apron. Dean ended up hitting Kane. Kane went back to the floor. Then he tossed Seth Rollins over the top rope. He took Kane out. Ambrose then climbed up to the top rope. He flew off the top. He took out J&J and Kane. Then Rollins grabbed Ambrose. He threw him into the barricade. Rollins then went to check on Kane, but Kane grabbed his neck. He started choking him. Looked like he was going to choke slam him. But then Ambrose came off the announce table. Kane caught Ambrose, and it looked like he was going to do a double choke slam. But then the referee's like, "Hey, I'm warning you. I'm going to disqualify." Who? I don't know. I guess Seth, because, Kane's with the authorities. But even though he had both of them, what is it like? Who's disqualified? It depends who hits the ground first. I don't know. But so Kane, he tossed the two of them, and he went up to the ref, and he started to threaten the ref like he was going to choke him. He looked like Darth Vader holding his hand right in front of his neck. The ref looked so scared. It was pretty funny. And then Ambrose actually grabbed Kane. He tossed him into the ring post. But then J&J, actually, Seth went to toss Ambrose into the ring, but Ambrose spun off the ropes, how he does usually when he's in the ring, but he did it from like the outside, kind of like on the apron. And then he came off and he did a double clothesline to J&J over the announce table. But then Seth grabbed him, he tossed him into the steel steps. So just slammed him into those steel steps. They threw him into the ring. He was laid out in the ring. Seth came up to him. He got him with that like double underhook front face DDT. Boom! Spiked him right on his head. And he pinned him for the win. 1, 2, 3. Seth Rollins defeats Dean Ambrose with the pin for the win. See, it wasn't a title match, but after the match, Kane came in. He looked like he was going to beat up Seth Rollins, but instead, he takes out his aggression on Dean Ambrose. He starts kicking him while he's down, and he's kicking him. Then J&J joins in. Seth joins in. They're all four of them beating on Dean Ambrose while he's down on the ground. But then here comes Roman Reigns. And Roman Reigns comes out. And then Kane jumps out the ring to go approach him. And Roman Reigns jumps through the air. Boom! Superman punch right to his face. And then he gets in there. He starts going at him. Boom, 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 boom. So they're, going at it there for a second. And so at that point, once he hit him with the Superman punch, then he did the double spear to J&J. But then Kane ended up grabbing Roman, and he ended up grabbing Dean, and it looked like he was going to do a double choke slam. But then, Roman ends up punching Kane. Then Dean ends up hitting him with a big clothesline. And then Roman Reigns powers up for the spear. Boom! Nails Kane with the spear. And he's laid out. And Seth Rollins and J&J, they took off. And so then Dean and Roman Shield reunited, and then there's also the Shield divided, the one who got away as Seth took off with the title in J&J. But Roman and Dean Ambrose are in the ring victorious, even though Seth Rollins actually was the one who won the match. But they were the ones up in the ring getting the cheers and having the music played. But it was pretty cool. I thought it was fun. I enjoyed it. It was interesting actually seeing Seth get that, pin over Dean. But I mean, Seth, man, he's really good in the ring, on the mic. He's so good at being bad. He really is a very talented performer, an entertainer, and professional wrestler. All of the complete package. So is Dean. Dean is awesome. I love Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose, he's kind of like Stone Cold, except, not. He is and he isn't. He's like the modern version of him, He's his own thing. But he's got that same, quality about him where he's not a heel, he's not a baby face, he's just Dean. And he's awesome. He's kick-ass, so he's pretty cool. And like I said, Seth Rollins, he's the guy you love to hate. He's so good at being bad. I don't know, it's like, could you really see Seth being a face? I mean, he could, but I think he's better as a heel. That's just how I feel anyway. And, I like Kane, I like J&J, in the role that they are. They are what they are. And JJ, actually, I mean, if you go check out both of them, Noble and Mercury, got some good matches. You should check them out on YouTube if you haven't. Ring of Honor stuff. But, they're kind of tiny, but they're both actually pretty talented, wrestlers. Especially, for their size. Like I said, they're not really big, but Kane is big. He's huge. He's one of the best big men ever. And I can never get enough Kane. I don't care what anybody says. So, Kane's the man. I think Kane actually has a, potential, career in the movies. He's already done some movies with WWE, but I think he could also do some mainstream stuff, given the chance and the opportunity. He's a great performer. He always has been. So, I mean, I don't care what anybody says. I like Kane. I know I hear some people, even them personally be saying stuff. Like they personally tell me, like, we'll have conversations. Like, oh, Kane, man. But I like Kane. I don't care. I mean, he's still excellent at what he does. They said, you got Seth in there and Dean. They're the future. And Kane's right there, I mean, you got to work with veterans and mix it in all the different talent. So I thought it was a pretty good match. I thought it was a really good SmackDown overall. Let me know what you think in the comments section below, what you thought about this match, what you thought about SmackDown for April 30th. Definitely interested to read your thoughts and opinions. Thank you very much for listening. It is appreciated.